this edition of Tomorrow's World, an alternative to the heart bypass, plus an attempt to break the world land speed record, and an artistic windbreak that changes the look of a chilly city. But first, the clever camera that records car crashes. Road accidents are inevitable in a city as busy as Tokyo. Even there, naturally calm and orderly streets have thousands of car accidents each year. To reduce the death toll, Tokyo police are turning to technology to get footage like this. More of these images later, but first, how do they get them? This roadside camera captures video pictures, and it's smart enough to record only when it detects an accident actually happening. However, the camera wasn't developed to detect car accidents, but to improve your golf swing. This camera stores images in digital form and is designed to help protect your golf swing. It's linked to a microphone that listens for the whack of a club on the ball. When it hears the noise, it makes a video recording of what's in its digital memory. Watching the instant playback allows you to compare your golf swing with the pros. The inventor of the device is a Japanese engineer who wanted to develop something based on the golf camera, but that would be more useful to society. So he thought of something else that would automatically trigger the camera by its sound: traffic accidents. The trouble is, a golf course is a lot quieter than a busy street, and so to detect the sound of an accident in a place like this, the system has to be a lot more discriminating. The inventor had to analyze the various street noises to find out what pattern of frequencies is unique to a crash. These are the kinds of images the camera picks up, and what's really clever is it always stores the last 5 seconds of pictures in its computer memory. When it hears the sound, it makes a permanent record of those vital moments before and after the crash. The result is images like these. The camera is already helping to make Tokyo safer. This complicated intersection obviously confuses many drivers. In particular, drivers from this lane don't realize they're not supposed to turn left. After analysis of the footage, the intersection is repainted and the accident level drops significantly. Of course, some drivers still ignore the warnings, but they clearly know they're in the wrong and are at least more careful. The system also records whether nearby traffic lights are red or green. Using this information, the camera shows how drivers are fooled at this crossing, the scene of many accidents. When drivers see the green traffic light ahead at the next intersection, they drive through the first intersection without noticing the stop signs. Making the stop sign more visible has reduced accidents considerably. The police researchers have now developed a computer to catalog all the information they've collected, and this allows them to call up at any moment any crash they've recorded. And now they're going a step further and changing 2D images into 3D. They feed into a computer a model of one of the intersections. And now researchers can get a view of the crash from any angle, for instance, getting a driver's eye view. Tokyo police hope that these shocking images will finally persuade everyone to drive more safely. Coming up next is the sky falling down.
Coming up, Digital Video Week continues. We give you shooting and editing tips. I mean, we're going to give you stuff. Even Steven Spielberg would learn something from this stuff.
And Michael York is going to tell us the technical wizardry behind Austin Powers gadgets.
And we'll wow you with the next generation of DVD players.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Cheap DVD.
Cheap DVD players in the next 3 hours.
Within these hallowed halls exist many challenges, like asking the folks for financial aid. Should one be dramatic, calm, sincere, dearest mother and father, or logical? GPA drop was concurrent with the depletion of pizza funds, or should one just get Adele? All through July, Dell's giving away 50 grand in the 50K a day giveaway. Yep, Dell helps you get the PC the way you want and gives your folks a chance to use 50K any way they want.
Call or go online now, and you could win 50 grand in Dell's 50K a day giveaway when you order America's favorite PC, like this Dimension desktop for just $6.99, featuring an Intel Pentium 4 processor with awesome performance for music, digital photos, gaming, and beyond. And for a limited time, you'll get free shipping.
Dude, you need to get a Dell.
Easy to buy, easy to own, easy as Dell. Dell PCs use Intel Pentium 4 processors.
Starting today, your telephone will answer you. Introducing Pronto, your on-call assistant, live and at your service, with the information you need when you need it. Get more than just a good restaurant. Get the nearest one. More than just the nearest. Get the best. So much more than directory assistance. Get the ultimate full-service 411. Get it all for just $19.95 a month. Hear hourly updates from the Wall Street Journal.
Market report at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. The NASDAQ up 1 to 50.
Hear the latest from CNN, ESPN Sports Center, weather reports too. It works on any phone, and it's a cinch to sign up. It's no contract, no hidden fees. It's more than just answers.
Pronto, how may I help you?
It's the solution. Pronto, your on-call assistant. Change everything you know. Try Pronto today, risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-866-PRONTO-1 to sign up now.
For 38 years, in the icy deserts of the Southern Hemisphere, the British Antarctic Survey has been studying the ionosphere. This layer of the Earth's atmosphere starts at around 62 miles above our heads and protects us from some of the sun's most harmful rays. It's also used to bounce radio waves around the world. Dr. Martin Jarvis is the physicist whose research has revealed the troubling news that the ionosphere isn't as big as it used to be.
The 38-year sequences of data that we have looked at show that the altitude of the ionosphere has slowly decreased by about 0.2 of a kilometre per year, so that over the total 38 years, it has fallen by 8 kilometres.
That's 5 miles closer to the Earth. So why is it happening?
This fall in altitude has probably occurred because the temperature in the upper atmosphere has dropped due to the effects of greenhouse gases.
Because the temperature in the upper atmosphere is linked to the temperature down on Earth, the falling ionosphere is then a very good indicator of climate change, especially the impact of greenhouse gases upon global warming. And the indications are that this shrinking is just not taking place over the Antarctic.
While similar research has been done recently in Germany and Finland, and these research results have also shown a similar fall in the altitude of the ionosphere, the significance of our results are that they are done in a completely different part of the world. The fact that we see the same result tends to show that this is not a local effect, but is in fact a global effect.
Whether the fall in the ionosphere turns out to be as big a story as the hole in the ozone layer remains to be seen. What we do know is that as long as we keep pumping out greenhouse gases, the ionosphere will continue to shrink, and scientists will only be able to watch and monitor the fall. Coming up next, a radical new heart bypass technique. Since the late 90s, Boston has been the focus of a technique called angiogenesis, simply using an injection to encourage the body to grow new blood vessels. Now this technique is being applied to combat heart disease. With coronary heart disease, the arteries that supply the heart become blocked, starving the heart muscles of oxygen. If severe enough, the only solution is a heart bypass operation, which is a major surgery. The chest is opened, the heart is actually stopped, and surgeons graft veins from the legs or arms onto the heart to bypass the blockages. David Smith has come to Boston to see if he's suitable to undergo an experimental procedure to mend his heart with an injection. Several years ago, he had a heart bypass operation. It failed as his coronary artery started to clog up again. With few options left and no other treatment available, his last hope is to come here. Cardiologists at the Beth Israel Hospital have developed a method that enables the heart to grow a network of blood vessels for itself, a biological bypass without the need for surgery. The key to the biological bypass is the ability to stimulate the heart to grow a series of blood vessels, which will then form a natural detour around the blockage. Remarkably, researchers have found they can do this merely by the injection of a manufactured protein growth factor. Dr. Roger Lehman is one of a team of cardiologists who are all pioneering this new procedure. Before David Smith can be accepted for treatment, the cardiologists need to assess the level of damage that his heart has already suffered. By carefully inserting a probe inside the heart, they're able to make a map which will show the extent of the problem. From this, they'll be able to see if the diseased areas of the heart are likely to respond to this radical new therapy. The map can be used to show a combination of functions of the heart.
The combination map is going to show really on this side how the heart moves, and on this side the electrical activity of the heart.
The red area shows the part of the heart that is not moving, so the doctors need to re-establish blood flow to that area.
Re-establishing blood flow and growing new blood vessels to that area, is it going to benefit the patient? Because if these areas are irreversibly damaged, then there is no point in doing anything. So that's why we did the map.
By comparing these two images, it becomes clear to the cardiologists just how much of the heart is not moving. They hope the new procedure will restore mobility and function. Now, David Smith is about to begin his potentially life-saving treatment. The body stops producing growth factors when we reach adulthood. The amazing thing about the new treatment is that the injected growth factor only stimulates blood vessel growth where it's most needed. It appears that blood vessels starved of oxygen near a blockage put out receptors like small antennae. These attract the growth factor, meaning that blood vessel growth occurs in the damaged area, creating the biological bypass. It will be a few weeks before David knows if the treatment has worked. For Stephen Catteray, the treatment appears to have had an amazing effect. Like David Smith, he's a victim of heart disease and underwent a bypass operation. In his case, too, the blockages returned. As his health deteriorated, Stephen was left facing a bleak future.
What I thought was going to last possibly a lifetime, that I was blocked up again. I just couldn't believe it. It was terrible.
So, Stephen opted for the new heart therapy.
I really was willing to do anything to stay alive.
But in fact, after only a few weeks, it appeared as if the treatment was working. Stephen felt reinvigorated and was able to join in on the games with his family again instead of sitting on the sidelines as a spectator. He's delighted and relieved with the results.
You know, I'm not going to go out and run a Boston Marathon, but the quality of life is back again. It's very good.
It's been 2 months since Stephen had the growth factor infusion, and now he's come back to the Beth Israel Hospital for a checkup. It's his first chance to see if there's any evidence of new blood vessel growth.
Basically, on the left side is displayed the images before the treatment, and on the right side, 60 days after treatment. This is really remarkable. You know, if you look here, you find that there is a large area of the heart that's first not moving, and second is not receiving enough blood flow. And on the follow-up images, and that's just 60 days later, this looks almost completely normal. The only conclusion I can have is that, you know, basically this treatment works. I really believe that this treatment is going to revolutionize the way that we treat heart disease. It's going to be an alternate to bypass surgery, and maybe even one day replace bypass surgery altogether. It's going to be the medical bypass of the future.
There's still a lot of research to be conducted. The treatment needs to undergo larger and more rigorous trials before reaching wider use. But the signs appear promising, and it's hoped that biological bypasses will be available in the future. After the break, an attempt to break the world speed record.
Hello, are you there?
What did you say? I can't hear you.
That's great. I'll have the contract sent over in the morning.
You can't afford to miss calls. If you want a strong, clear signal wherever you are, get Chiptenna, the new smart antenna from Rhino International. The same people who brought you the original internal antenna. The new, smaller, smart antenna chip incorporates state-of-the-art microcircuitry technology, fits all cell phones, and outperforms other first-generation internal antennas. The new smart Chiptenna searches out the best available signal. Simply place Chiptenna inside your cell phone, close the cover, and hear the difference immediately.
I upgraded to the new smart antenna. Now my signal's clear wherever I am.
With my new smart antenna, I can talk from inside buildings, even driving through tunnels.
Missed calls drove me nuts. I'd be talking to a client missing every other word. With the new chip antenna, my calls are clearer.
Available for the first time in the United States, only from Rhino International, the company that has sold over 1 million original internal antennas to satisfied customers. You can also use chip antenna on portable radios and cordless phones. Chip antenna costs only $19.95. Call now and get Unifree, the new innovative wireless hands-free unit, absolutely free. With more and more states banning the use of handheld cell phones while driving, Unifree lets you keep your hands on the wheel while you're on the phone. Works on all cell phones and needs no adapter, so it goes anywhere you go. Call now to get this limited time offer for chip antenna, the new smart antenna, and Unifree, the new innovative wireless hands-free unit. A $60 value, yours for only $19.95.
I'm so happy with my new smart antenna and wireless hand-free unit. I can hear everything, anywhere, anytime.
So if you want a strong, clear signal, call now. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, what are you waiting for? Order now and get your chip antenna, the smart antenna, and Unifree, the new innovative wireless hands-free unit. Call now.
It's a fact. Mortgage interest rates are at their lowest levels this year, but the likelihood of them going up in the near future is a very real possibility. If you have a first mortgage with a high interest second, now may be the time to refinance to a new low fixed rate first and end up with one low monthly payment. You can be pre-qualified online or over the telephone. No advance fees prior to closing, no cancellation fees. Do it now before the rates go up. Call 1-800-71-FIX.
I've always loved working on computers, and in the Army, that's what I do.
If you never thought about the U.S. Army or Army Reserve, think about this. There are 212 ways for you to become a soldier and work at a job you'll love. Call for this free video to find out which job is right for you. And if you call 1-800-645-ARMY right now, you'll also receive a free Army t-shirt with your video. Discover the 212 ways you can be an Army of One.
Don Wales is the driver of the Bluebird electric car and is the grandson of legendary record breaker Sir Malcolm Campbell.
My grandfather set 3 records here in the 20s, and I would be immensely satisfied if we can just beat those records in an electric car.
If he can average 216 miles per hour over the measured mile, he'll join his grandfather on the list of the world's fastest men. It's here, on a 4-mile stretch of the Pendine Sands in Wales, that he'll make his land speed record attempt. On the first day, there's only 4 hours to test the car before the course disappears beneath the tide. But the sand holds a few surprises. The manager of the whole project is Martin Rees.
We've had 1 or 2 problems, most notably in the last 20 minutes. They've found a bomb on the beach further down, and the MOD are dealing with it at the moment, so hopefully it's none too serious.
With the bomb out of the way, they finally get the car on the beach for a test run in preparation for tomorrow's attempt at breaking the record.
It's very good. We've achieved what we wanted to achieve today, which is a speed of 50 miles an hour. It's a bit late in the day, I know, but the tide's coming in now, so we've got to get the car off the beach and just have a look at it and make sure everything is running okay.
The next day, and it's time for the first serious attempt at the record, but things start to go wrong during the first run, and Don is in trouble.
There's been a cathode problem. I suspect that unless they can cure it very quickly, that's it.
A simple electrical failure in the motor has stopped the car dead, and the team work frantically to get the car up and running again. But nothing seems to be going right for the team, and Bluebird continually stalls. On the final run, the car averages 126 miles an hour, well below the world record at the time of 215 miles an hour. And while there's disappointment all around, they're already beginning to work towards the next attempt.
We're not going to give up. My determination is still there. It's had a severe knock this weekend, obviously. But we've had knocks for this project ever since we started, and you don't give up easily. So we'll keep carrying on. While there's a will, there's a way.
Next, a camera that sees into your eye. These stunning images are produced using minute cameras placed inside the human body. In 1997, Tomorrow's World brought you these pictures from within a living heart. They're all captured using an instrument called an endoscope. This technology could help Margaret Phipps, who's blind in one eye. And for Margaret, it all started very suddenly.
In the morning when I got up, you know, washing and changing, and then I had this bleary eye. And I thought it was just like the sleepy eye, you know, and it just didn't clear when I kept rubbing it. And then I didn't realise that anything was wrong, you know, and I thought, well, I'm going to have to go for glasses.
In fact, Margaret had suffered a hemorrhage in her left eye. Blood from a blocked blood vessel seeped into the normally clear substance in her eye and was now blocking her vision. Since then, her eyesight has deteriorated. So what exactly can Margaret see with her
patient's retina?
Medical opinion is divided on the use of the endoscope, but Dr. Kirkpatrick is convinced it has real benefits.
It offers a much more magnified view of structures within the retina and offers a lot more detail than you can manage with conventional means.
Margaret is the 8th patient Dr. Kirkpatrick has operated on using the endoscope. She's already anesthetized and they're about to begin surgery. We're going to show the operation in some detail, so be prepared. Dr. Kirkpatrick will start in the conventional way using a microscope and a lens placed over the pupil to look into the eye. He uses a vitreous cutter to clear out the blood, which is obscuring Margaret's sight. Once he's cleared the central area, he'll insert the endoscope to give him a clear view of the rest of the eye. And finally, he uses a laser to seal the damaged blood vessels. This is the view he sees through the microscope as he clears blood from Margaret's eye. Now he's using the cutter, which slices and sucks up the hemorrhage. Once he's removed the blood from the middle area, it's time to insert the endoscope. This is the new view from inside the eye. Here's the optic nerve and a blob of hemorrhage. In these incredible pictures from the endoscope, you can actually see the strands of blood floating in the eye. Using the endoscope to guide him, the surgeon continues using the cutter to suck away the rest of the blood. It gives him a new way of looking into the eye and helps him to see more clearly where he's going. Once all the blood's been cleared out of the eyeball, the surgeon is ready to use a laser to heal up any of the vessels. In this hugely magnified view, you can see the minute laser emerging from the tip of the endoscope. It takes 10 minutes to seal all the blood vessels using flashes of the laser. The surgery has gone well, so Margaret should be able to see much better soon. As for Dr. Kirkpatrick, he's excited about the endoscope and believes it has potential.
I think if you can see more clearly where you're going, then you're much likely to operate more quickly, more safely and more effectively.
How does he feel about it now?
I think I'm very excited about the endoscope. It still requires some development, but there will be some areas which it undoubtedly will help with.
Finally, when we return, a highly original windbreak.
Technology sure has changed since I was in school. Take this compact Presario 2800T notebook. Thin, light, powerful. With the mobile Intel Pentium 4 processor M, you get all that and the built-in networking card links college students to campus. Plus, you can save $100 instantly, so it's just $12.99. And you can upgrade your memory for free when you buy direct. Just call 1-888-289-2556 or go online. Talk about lightening your course load.
Round-the-clock claim service, in case this happens in a car. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At Geico, we get the ball rolling on your claim quickly. Even in the middle of the night. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You don't have to go out for great entertainment. Blockbuster Ticket only on DirecTV offers up to 60 pay-per-view movie choices every month, making it the easiest way to bring the Hollywood hits home. If you can't see it, are you safe? Sure. If you can see it, are you next?
All I could see were these two red eyes.
Based on a true story. Richard Gere stars in...
This isn't just a message, it's a prediction.
The Mothman Prophecies. Tune to the 100s and order with your remote.
Want to get the most from your DirecTV experience? Now you can pay your monthly bill. Change your programming package. order pay-per-view movies and events at DirecTV.com. And now enter the DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket Sweepstakes for your chance to win a trip for two to meet Arizona Cardinals quarterback Jake Plummer, or win other great prizes. Visit DirecTV.com/NFL Sweeps for details.
The future of the world
The countdown starts. That's it.
hangs by a thread.
They're going too fast.
Now, one international rescue team is on a mission
Walker, get the tires.
to save the Earth
Look, it's going to collapse.
when disaster strikes. The smallest action adventure this summer is the Thunderbirds. Lady Penelope
Do you think they're still alive?
brings
International rescue?
the Tracy Brothers.
There's a 200-foot jet of fire.
The Thunderbirds. Weeknights. Only on TechTV.
Here, in the centre of London, they're adding the finishing touches to a truly remarkable piece of sculpture. As well as brightening up an often grey area of Westminster, it's also a state-of-the-art wind barrier. The architect behind it is Julian Ferry.
The sculpture's here, firstly to add colour, and secondly to break up the wind that blows between these two buildings at very high velocity, high enough to blow somebody over.
So they created this structure of metal and fiberglass designed to solve the wind problem.
What happens is that our large shapes, and particularly what we call the squiggles, break up the wind locally and create local turbulence, which means that you don't have a sort of monolithic jet stream wind force.
But this windbreak is also a bona fide work of art, the creation of renowned painter Patrick Heron. It started out as a painting done by Patrick in just 8 minutes. The shapes were scanned into a computer for further work. A computer-controlled laser then cut the actual pieces, reproducing the squiggles of the artist's brush in 3D.
The character of these discs and these lines that sort of float in between them are the sort of shapes which you would only make if you were drawing fast. They're a solidified scribble, rendered solid.
The whole structure sits on 2 masts like those used in high-performance yachts, which ensure that it's tough enough to withstand those strong winds. In wind tunnel tests, it did cut down the gusts, but whether it works in the real Westminster winds remains to be seen.
It was never the idea that we should get rid of the wind here, because of course we couldn't. But the idea was to make it a more pleasant public urban space, and that's what I hope we've done.
That's all for this edition of Tomorrow's World. Join us again next time for another glimpse into the future.